Here we are at Palms of Pines Highway. We have the entire crew right here, the Shelby GT 350R. It's been a long time since we've driven this car. It is so much fun. We've got the C8 Corvette and Joe's AMG GT R. Pretty interesting combo right here. But we do have Joe, so let's go and talk to him. He's over here. I see you've got your Mercedes AMG apparel on right now. I think last time when you rode in the GT 500, you had all the Cobra stuff, right?
Correct.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow down, slow down. So what, have you broken in yet?
Well, so far so good. It's 2,000 miles. It's driving like just like a jet. Very good looking car. It's a very muscly, great handling vehicle.
Ready to go on this ride down
Absolutely.
this mountain? This road is amazing.
I'm already in. Ready to go.
Go ahead and fire it up, man. The pops that this AMG makes, man, it is insane. Here we go, start up on the C8 Corvette. Let's turn it on. I love that display right there. Man, it sounds pretty good for being only an LT2, right? Here we go, backing out with the C8 Corvette. Let's go on a drive, let's put on manual paddle shifting. That's a Dodge Viper. That is awesome. Awesome car, man. That's so cool. You don't see many Vipers. There was a, I think it was like a 2005. Now, if you guys are not familiar with Joe, last time we spoke with him on the channel was back when he was considering buying a new GT 500, but unfortunately the markups were just too crazy over here in California, and they're just so hard to get that he started looking for the C8 Corvette, and that didn't go well either because there just weren't any available. And now he's got a fantastic car, the AMG GT R. That car is so fast, especially on the racetrack. It's so weird being with exotics with the C8 Corvette because exotics, they look crazy, right? The supercars, like the AMG GT R, the Lamborghinis, and the C8 also looks in its own right crazy as well. This is a mid-engine Corvette. How can it get any better than that? But man, that car is so wide in front of us. He has not gone to the track with it yet. He just broke it in recently. It's got, I think, over 1,000 miles on it. But we got to make sure to get him to the track, because that would be so much fun comparing this to that. Because I know that from the tests I've seen, it's a track monster. This is still the Stingray. It's not the Z06, the ZR1, nothing like that. So I don't know, maybe, how do you think these two cars would compare? Man, that car, I love the silver paint job as well. I think out the door he said that was $180,000. These two cars couldn't be any more different. However, they're V8s, both of them. His is turbocharged, as you know, and the torque those AMGs make, it's insane. Plus the sound, I can't get over the sound. The best part is though, technically his AMG GT R is mid-engine. That being front mid-engine because the engine is on all the way on top of the front axle like the Mustangs are, the Camaros. It's right behind it. So like where we're sitting right now, an inch behind the front axle, this is where his motor is. And in his car, you're sitting where the mid-engine is right behind us. So think of that analogy and it just blows your mind. You know what, guys? I gotta get Joe's impression of the C8 Corvette. I wonder what he would say about it. Let's go back up because that time there was too many people. How you doing, Joe? I missed the gear change. This road is amazing. Leaving in the dust back there. Now, obviously we're not racing each other, just having a good time because during all of this crazy stuff going down right now in our world that we live in, this is the best thing you can do to get away. Now, you guys may recognize this exact mountain pass. This is the same exact road that you've seen videos of online showing like Z06 or higher performance prototypes of the new Corvette being tested. I can't believe it's the same road that Chevy used to test on. Can you believe that? Well, for a ride, man, I want to see what you think about the new Corvette.
I'm in for it.
Yeah, hop on it, dude. So your first time in the C8?
Yep.
It's been pretty different, I guess, than your AMG GT R. I think your car is also mid-engine, but it's front mid-engine, right? So
correct.
With this one, it's kind of like switched. Let's go ahead and start it up. I'll have the car in Z mode, which is a customizable mode. So it's basically sport mode we're in right now with the track exhaust setting. We'll put in manual mode as well. Here we go. Ready to jump?
Yep.
Getting on the road. shifts. It's
Yeah.
seamless with it. And
Seems
then,
pretty smooth, yeah.
yeah, I know with your AMG, it's like a muscle car, but with how far forward the front hood goes.
Correct,
Does it
yeah.
feel pretty
You can see
different?
more of a road over here. That's absolutely correct. It's actually very nice. I mean, I'm impressed. Feels like it's hugging the road, right?
We go down shifting. DCT, man, it's so much fun.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah, I mean, from somebody who drives Mercedes-Benz German engineering, you know, they're coming pretty close. You know, Americans are they're getting there.
Have you ever experienced a Corvette before? Actually, this is your first one that you've actually, you know, ridden in before.
This is the first Corvette I'm in, actually, the 2020. I've been in Corvettes before, yes, but this is the first 2020 I'm in, and I must say it's a total different car. And I'm actually impressed with the engine. You can't even hear the engine.
Yeah.
It's very quiet.
How about the interior, though? Does this seem like an American car interior to you?
The interior is pretty nice. I mean, you know, the cuts and the finish, it's look pretty amazing to me. I would say pretty close to Ferrari and Lamborghini. You know, it's the shape, the cut, the curves. You know.
For what this car is, it looks as good, it drives as good, and it's at the performance of, you know, high-end supercars, 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds. But then you've got that sub 100K price tag. I think this is what you call getting like a Lamborghini, right? And then like mass producing it so that the cost just goes straight down. Imagine if they had a Lamborghini Huracan that they made 20 or so thousand a year. That's going to obviously drive the cost straight down, right?
They are preparing the ZR, the Z model, and
the Z06,
yeah,
the ZR1, and
right. They're gonna be coming with something that's gonna be more expensive, I think. I actually very impressed with the look of the car outside and inside. Corvette always turned heads.
You think so?
No matter what, yeah. It was always a sexy car. It was always the American sexy car that always turned heads. There's no question about it. But coming into this particular design car, it doesn't look like a Corvette anymore. It actually looks like a Ferrari.
Especially with the red paint job, right?
Exactly.
And speaking of Corvette,
we're looking at a Corvette
we got
right
a
there.
C7 just gave us the double high beam.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm talking about.
here's the difference about the one that just passed and the one I'm sitting in. This is new generation, and Chevy is trying to get the new generation. That's why they don't want the car to be too expensive, that people won't be able to afford it. So if you can buy a $60,000 C8, looks like a Ferrari, I mean, how much your loan will be, how much your lease will be, you know what I mean? Not everybody can buy a $150,000 car. I think what Chevy does is not what Ford does. They're trying to get the other kinds of market, not just the old school market. I think it's a very smart move of Chevy, okay, because they don't want to get the cars and keep them in the dealership. They want them moved.
Yeah.
And especially Corvette. So if they can come with a car like this, of course they're going to have another models. I mean, you have money, you'll buy the next model, you know what I mean? But you're still going to drive a car that's going to look like the higher model for half of the money.
You know what, Joe? Let's do a uphill 0 to 60 just to try that out. You're gonna feel the launch too, because having the engine behind us, it's gonna be very different than your AMG, I think. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's go in automatic because I can't shift as quickly as this car can. So let's go ahead and line up. 3.9 uphill the passenger. That's pretty good. Now for that launch, we were only using about 1,500 to 2,000 RPM. When the ground is flat, it'll let you rev all the way up to 3,500. So imagine that with like 2,000 more RPM to go. So you can get an idea of how that back end grip that does a lot for you, I think.
Also, you have to remember this is not an all-wheel drive car, so when it takes off, you will spin a little bit since you disengage the traction control.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
it'll have a little delay because it wants to go with the rear trying to spin, taking the car forward. If they move the Corvette to an all-wheel drive car, that would be the end of that.
I don't know. What do you think? Would you take the GT 500 or the C8 Corvette? A lot of guys have been asking me that question. I can't really answer it personally, but since you don't have either, I guess it might be easier for you.
Well, here's my opinion. You know, looking
you've ridden my 500. That's right.
Right. So we have a Ford Mustang, which is the Shelby, right? And then we have the Corvette, which is the Corvette, right? Now, they came with a car that, obviously because it's $60,000 and it's not 80, 90, unfortunately, it's going to be a lot of them on the road. So you're going to get to see more of those Corvettes. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know, I might be wrong.
I'd say that
then
too.
you're actually going to see Shelby. Because Shelby, it's kind of an iconic, unique car, you know?
Yeah.
But if you're asking my opinion, me as a person, I don't really care. Because I'm looking at the Corvette and I'm looking at the way they designed the car. It's much more good-looking car than the GT500. I'm sorry to say that, because the GT500 still have the look of the old Mustangs. So if you're asking my opinion, I'm still would go with the Corvette. I don't need to spend over sticker almost a half of a car more.
Yeah, that's
and B,
fun.
I bet you if we pull into a light and a girl pass by, she'll look at the Chevy Corvette before she look at the Mustang. It's just because the way the car look, the car is sexy.
So you're basically saying that even though that the Shelby is more limited to most people, it still looks like a Mustang. The Mustang overall is more produced than the Corvette.
Correct. It goes both ways. Why it goes both ways? Because there's some people that still want the Corvette to look Corvette. There's some people that say, listen, it's a Corvette, but it looks like a Ferrari. How many people do you know that are not into cars have an idea what's a Ferrari and what's a Corvette, the way the Corvette look? They will take right away.
Yeah.
It's a Ferrari.
Well, Joe, what did you think, man? Do you think it has lived up to your expectations?
Pretty impressive.
Been pretty hyped up, I think, but actually, you know, having it now finally, it's so much fun, I think.
It's pretty impressive for a 2020 Corvette, I tell you that.
Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. It really does help me out. And subscribe for much more great C8 Corvette content coming your way. I'll see all of you in the next episode.